This video looks at using a TVM solver to find missing parts of a compound interest kind of question. TVM solver stands for time value money calculator, and it can be used for calculations that involve interest, payments, that sort of thing. When we use the calculator, we need to know a present value, PV, and a future value. So PV, often just called the principal. Or the present value. And the future value is often what we would have called the amount. When we use a TVM solver, one of these two things has to be negative. So if you're getting an error message, in all likelihood, that's probably it. So let's have a look here at how we can use a TVM solver. So here's a question: how much was invested at 4% compounded semi-annually for 3 years if the final amount was $7,500? So you finish up with $7,500. The question is, how much did you start with? So we're going to use a TVM solver. Our TVM solver looks like this right here, and you can just do a search for TVM solvers and come up with a whole bunch online. So again, the PV is the present value. That in this case is what we're trying to find. How much is the money worth today? The future value is the $7,500, what it's worth in the future. So I'm just going to plug that into the future value spot. The rate is 4%. Here, and the number of periods. In order to figure out the number of periods, we need to know how long this is for and how often. So if we flip back to the original question, the question said it's for 3 years but compounded semi-annually. So semi-annually is twice a year. For 3 years, 2 times 3 is 6. So the number of periods is going to be 6. We'll plug in that this is semi-annually. And once we have everything plugged in, we can press the button for the thing that we're trying to find, in this case the present value. So we click on that. Again, you'll see that it's negative. It just goes back to what I said earlier, but one of the two values has to be negative. What this means is that you have to invest $6,659.79 to get the desired amount. So the answer to the question here, just jot that down, and this just came from the TVM solver, $6,659.79. Let's have a look at another example here. So in this example, the question is asking, what is the interest rate? So again, the TVM solver can be used for that. What interest rate was charged if $650 credit bill grew to $750 in 6 months compounded monthly? So again, we'll go to the TVM solver. It might be worth actually listing some of these things so we can remember what they are. It's a $650 bill, so that's our present value. The future value is what it's worth at the end. So this thing grew to $750. It's for 6 months, and it's compounded monthly, so the number of compounding periods is equal to 6. So we're going to plug those values into the TVM solver and see what it gives us as a rate. So here's our TVM solver. The present value is $650. The future value is $750. We don't know the rate. The number of periods was 6, and it's compounded monthly. So if we now click on the rate button to give us the rate, you see I'm getting an error here, and the reason why I'm getting an error is that I just entered the values. One of the present value or the future value has to be negative. It doesn't matter which one we choose. I'll do it both ways just to show you. So I'm going to make the present value negative, and when I click on the rate, I get 28.96. I'm going to switch and make the future value negative just to show you that you get the same answer here. We can clear the rate out, click on rate, 28.96. So if we go back, again, it doesn't matter. One of these two should have been negative. And then the rate was equal to 28.96%. So therefore, the rate was 28.96%. probably round that to 29%. And that's how you use a TVM solver. It works for any, we just use it to find a couple of things, but it works for any parts of these equations.